Yeah, don't play with me. I've been trying to make this legacy. Don't play with me. I've been trying to move this
And
legacy.
today I want to talk to you guys about fears holding your mind, StairMaster, the 1 hour sit-up set, and the squat rack. So let's get into it. So for me, a big thing that I perpetually think about every day is, am I scared? This question kind of drives you on a daily basis. I ask, how close am I to my fears every day? How close am I to things that make me uncomfortable every day? What am I doing to be in that place of uncomfortableness? This takes you to a place where you have to ask whether you're going in the direction you want to go in, and whether you're doing the things you actually set out to do, which are usually the things that you are setting out to do, usually the things you struggle to do naturally. So, in a Machiavelli motivational, Tom Platz was talking about how Frank Zane, a 3-time Mr. Olympia, like in old days, would do one set of sit-ups for 1 hour. So when I heard this, I was like, "Jeez, bro, this was pretty awesome." And I thought, give it a shot. So I think the first time I tried, I got about 3 minutes, and it came close to puking, which was the second time I got about 4 to 5 minutes, and then the third time I got about 8 minutes with a spotter pushing me and shouting me through it. And then I went back a 4th time by myself, and then got 14 minutes 46 seconds. Now this was interesting to me because I didn't have a spotter this time. So what was different? See, as I was approaching 10 minutes, I began to close my eyes, and it was like going to this dark pit, just absolute silence. Everything shut off, and all you think about is the next rep, and the rep after that, and the rep after that. You don't think about anything else. You don't think about anything else that's happening around you, or you don't think about the people looking at you or hearing you shout. It's just silence. See, that feeling, that dark place of our minds that we don't really like to go to, it's that little 1% that takes us to a place we've never been to before. And that pain is like you shoving through that pain is what gets you there in multiple places in life. See, this idea came from, or I guess was added to by this book, The Way of the Superior Man by David Data. He says, live with your lips pressed against your fears. Meaning, as you go through life, because this idea is not something you ask yourself every day, it's something that underlines everything you do. Are you scared? Are you facing your fears? Are you doing the thing that you said you're going to do but makes you uncomfortable to do? The next thing is the StairMaster, or the step move. Some people call it the step move. I don't know why. But on the StairMaster, it's a bit different because the mental game is a bit different from your sit-up. Because Rich Piano was talking about the guys at Olympia who run the StairMaster for 2 hours straight. And I thought, Jesus, that sounds painful, because it's a really painful exercise as far as cardio goes, as far as anything goes. So when I heard this, I decided, again, let me give this a shot. 2 hours, right? So I started off, I was already at about 30-40 minutes. So I just bumped it up, pushed it to an hour. Painful as hell. I went for an hour 10 minutes. And then an hour 30 minutes. Now, if the StairMaster is more of a mental endurance game, where the sit-ups is as if it's a force pushing through, like an arrow firing through the pain. The StairMaster is just endurance. How long can you hold out? It's more like you're holding onto a rope, trying not to fall off something, right? Because after a certain point, it's a matter of self-talk. Can I do this? Can I not do this? How painful is it? Can I keep going through the pain? And now it's just a matter of whether or not your mind is going to fail you, or whether it's going to beat you down, or whether you're going to beat it, or whether the goal you have is going to beat you down or not, right? So that's just you talking to yourself. Are you going to be able to keep going? Can you do the extra minute, the minute after that, the minute after that? Because eventually those minutes feel flipping long. And that pain, that endurance, gets to a lot of things in life. That attitude of how long can I hold out onto something? How long can I keep going? Answers a lot of questions about whether you'll be successful in anything. Whether you can endure tough times, pain in general. And then finally, before we get to the squat rack, actually, let's go through some examples about like other life things, right? One would be, let's say, your business. So you have your business, and in your business you're doing about, you're doing well, but you want to go further, and you come close to getting a deal, and then it fails. And you come close to getting a deal again, and then it fails again. Now this happens 5 times. And then you finally feel like giving up, but you decide, let me just give this one more shot. And you give it a shot, right when you're about to get your break, COVID-19, economic crash, yay, goodbye, no opportunities anymore. You could give up. You could let it go, because the truth is no one will blame you for it. No one will blame you for losing games during the lockdown. No one will blame you for stopping your business, or stopping doing whatever you're meant to do, and just giving up because you kept trying. Now this time it just seems like everything is telling you to stop. See, that choice separates you from other people if you choose to keep going. Because now it's hard, because now everyone else thinks it's fine for you to give up too. And that's when it's easiest to give up on anything. Another example would be, let's say you're out with your friends and you're talking to girls. And now you've been getting the sweet taste of bat the whole night. Just rejection on rejection on rejection. And you're tired, you're done. Your plan was to leave at 2, but you want to leave at 12. Your wingman is probably having the best night of his life, because it just seems to always work out like that. For some reason, your wingman always has his best nights when you're having your worst. And now you're like, shit. And you go to him, you say you want to go home, and your perfect 10 walks past, and he knows it's your perfect 10. And he looks at you as you look at the door, and he says, 1 more. And you know that decision to not go approach her can change everything, because the next time that happens, and that could have been something important, something special, or meet someone that you could have met, that you could actually have something cool happen with, like a great relationship or whatever, you ran away. Shit, like that thought scares me quite a bit. Like, I'm not gonna lie, a lot of the times you get moving just because you're so scared of, like, what other option is there? You're scared of the other option. See, so now we're gonna get to that same fear, the squat rack. So the squat is my favorite exercise. Anybody who knows me knows this. It's my favorite exercise, but not just because of the gains it gives you, or because I love training legs, but because it's like a different. It's the mental game that you and the squat have, because it is one of the only exercises that you feel like you could die on. It's one of the only exercises where it feels like it could actually crush you, like it's done, like you tried your best, came, goodbye. So if you've fallen underneath a squat, you know what I'm talking about. So I went to train just before the lockdown. So this was going to be the last leg day before the gym closes. So it's going to be special. I go in all black, ready to mourn the closing of the gym, and then get there. I went to just do a couple sets of squats. Did not end up that way. I ended up squatting, I think, for an hour and a half of the session. But we get there and I start squatting, and it's feeling good. I'm going for reps. And now I go to what my PR was, and it was at 130, and I squat 130, come up. I'm like, holy shit, this happened with no spotter. Now I'm like, okay, let's see 135, which is what I failed on the month before. Just squished. It's on Instagram. I don't know if the video is on Instagram, but I think I'll just post it. I think it was a story. So squished. Now I come again to 135 and ask the spotter to come in case this happens again. And I've been fixing my form on particular problems the whole month, so I felt pretty ready for this. And then I squat the 135. And I'm like, shit, this is awesome. And then my spotter's like, oh, you could do more. You look like you legit could pull out more. I'm like, okay, let's go again. So we go, 140. Now I'm like, geez, this is awesome. I'm ready to call it. He says the 140 looked easier than the 135. Let's go for 145. Now I'm freaking out. I'm thinking, geez. At this point, I'm going to squat 10 kilograms heavier than what I failed on the month before. Not like I managed to halve, no, I was gone. So, I think about it. I have this voice in the back of my mind telling me, you're not going to do it, you're not going to make it, it's not happening, type of thing. Like, it's just not going to happen. And I'm like, fuck this voice, let's go forward. Go for the squat. Now, as amazing and very shonen anime like the story would be if it came up, that's not what happened. I ended up going down and buckling. I fall down and I'm like, wow, fuck, I knew this would happen. And he looks at me and he says, we're not ending the last leg session like this, so do what you must do, get ready, let's do it again. I'm like, but I can't. He's like, but you can. So I take my time, quite a lot of time actually. I chill out, calm down, take a deep breath. So I had already had some shit happen the night before, weighing heavy on my mind. And a good friend of mine once told me that squatting is probably the best therapy when you go into the gym to get rid of negative thoughts. But it is. It takes your focus off things. So there I am, and I sit in front of the squat rack and I think, shit, like, if I don't lift this, I don't lift the problems up. If I don't lift this, I don't have what it takes to pick up my own problems in life. Right? If I don't lift this, it's just a limitation of my personal, internal, and mental strength. If I don't lift this, I remain the same. If I don't lift this, I stay the exact same person that I was when I walked in here. I can't change. Can't become better. Can't become better at this. Can't become better at anything. Whether or not I change here will determine who I become and whether I can change in other areas of life. Now, this is a bit of an intense thought process towards it, but you got to get emotional with it. I think Tom Platz said, you get deep emotional with the squat. Flex Wheeler said it, same thing. Just get deep in your mind about it. Just whether or not what does it mean to you to be able to get this weight up? What does it mean to you to be able to do the extra reps? So this is what it meant for me, that if I didn't do this, I wasn't changing. I'm big on constantly changing and growing. So when I went to the bar and my mind cleared and silenced the same way you do before you completely step over a limiting belief or mental barrier, that mindset, as I got there, everything cleared, everything was quiet, went down, squatted, came back up. It's like 2 minutes before the gym was closing. They were trying to kick us out. So that feeling when you get back up and realize that you did it, because the pain of not doing it for your mind was far greater than anything you could have felt by being squashed. Because the fear for me of not changing, of not becoming that person, right? That fear is a lot scarier than any fear you can experience while being crushed by a bar. So that's the mindset, guys. Those fears. These are 3 things, and including the approach, 4 things for me personally that have taught me a lot about putting yourself in positions of fear, doing the things that are scary, doing the things that make you uncomfortable, doing the thing that you know will take you to that next level, and not being scared of that dark place of your mind, because that dark part of your mind is necessary, to show you that you can do more than you think, to show you that that line that you think shouldn't be crossed, you should cross it a lot more often. It's pretty awesome. It's like a very enlightening, freeing experience to push beyond that. The laughter you have afterwards and the pain, it's just full of endorphins and energy. It's great. In the comments, if you have questions about gym, about self-development, about game, and about anime, major 4 things I can talk about, and reading. I've been doing a lot of reading, not just in the lockdown. Obviously, if you kept on Instagram, I started the year reading a couple books. Not as quickly as planned, but they've been going well. So anything you want to chat about, guys, holla at me. Guys, squad PR, great time, fine time, lots of pain. We died out at 1:35, but managed 1:30. So afterwards, just didn't do a video because we didn't have time because the gym was shutting us out. But managed 1:30, 1:35 was gruesome. I wanted to go again, but I think it was smarter to not go again. Yeah, so that was.
人は死に直面した時、その一瞬に生涯の全てを垣間見るというの。
俺バカじゃねえの。これじゃ本当に死んじまう。なんだこれ。そうか、これが死ってやつか。生きてやがるぜ。